Hello again, my name is Barbara, and I'm going to be showing you how I created my recipe project books. I've already posted, or will be posting, the 2018 recipe project book. At the beginning of 2018, I decided to cook a new recipe every week, and they're pretty much vegan or vegetarian recipes. And then a few weeks in, decided to do a page for each one of those to sort of do something creative in addition to the cooking. So I went to the library and I purchased two books like this, and I purchased this one also for 2019. I have to give you a word of caution. When I purchased them, some of them that I purchased did not close all the way. Like you have to, I have to be very careful. I have two for 2019, but you have to be careful with these old books to make sure that they're not, that all of these close nicely. I had purchased several. They're cheap. I mean, you can get two for $1 or less, but the ones that I had were like about this open at the bottom, and that wouldn't work at all. So last year and this year also, I took an old recipe book and I took most of the pages. This year I took all of the internal pages. I just kept the dividers. And I began with January. And this year I'm including photos, but they're not all of my kitchen. These are some moon photos that I've taken. I really like the moons. And I have a quote: "The sun sees your body and the moon sees your soul." I'm also this year at the beginning in each divider listing the recipes so that I know when I look back which recipes are in each section. So January, I have kind of a moon theme. I also took an old calendar from Michigan, from the Upper Peninsula, and I took pages and I love this shot. It's a winter shot. And I continued this all through the month of January. This is a sourdough whole wheat recipe, and I included, this time, I'm including, actually I'll go back here, where the recipe and then where I got it. My King Arthur flour book and the pages that it's on. The next one was a New York Times cooking, Emily Raffa book, Tassajara bread book, and Lorna Sass book. So this time, I'll be able to look back and find where I got the recipes. I made copies. I have a different book that just has pages and pages of the recipes that I've cooked. So I know I have a copy, but in case someone looks at this, they will know too. So this was a longer recipe, and again, these are calendar pages of the moon, and a love you to the moon and back quote: "Dark chocolate and pomegranate bark." This was like sinful, but it was delicious. I would make this, I actually made it several times, and I stopped because it was just, I was eating too much. Another I love you to the moon and back: "Everyday sourdough." And I think this one was from the Tassajara bread. No, this was the Emily Raff book. And this is the Tassajara bread book. So all really good recipes. The moon is food being eaten day by day, but once a new moon, someone sleeps hungry, and that's Scribe and Soliloquy, whatever that is. Sourdough bread. I also did potato soup with spinach, another moon quote. "The moon is fat and the night air is so pure it seems edible," by Robert Bolaño. Nice. Potato soup with spinach, I love that. That was really good. "A crust eaten in peace is better than a banquet partaken in anxiety." So I guess my theme is recipes and quotes. In February, again, I listed all of the recipes and where they came from: Farmer's Almanac, Some of them are websites, some of them are cookbooks. I'm trying to use more cookbooks. In February, the theme was red and hearts, and I had some leftover glue. I mean, I've had it for years, glitter glue, so I used it up, and I'm not sure where I got that paper, but this is a picture from Farmer's Almanac, I think. Blueberry sour cream pancakes, and that's the recipe so this is the picture that went with that recipe. And this is also a little needlework I did with hearts. And this is quilting page, a photograph of some quilting I was doing. Again, I had the glitter around here. Roasted masala potatoes and Instant Pot recipe. And I'm making this for dinner. And actually, I'm going to add mushrooms to it tonight. And this is another needlework I did. This is Instant Pot mushroom stroganoff, and that was very good. See all the glitter. Another needlework I did, and I'm trying to include nutritional facts where I can. Greenfield Village dandelion soup. It's spring. Let's see what it, yeah, I did this in February. I purchased the dandelions at the store. I like this recipe because actually I'm from Michigan, and the fact that it was Greenfield Village caught my eye. I went there as a child. I'm hoping to go back as an adult now, see how it's different. More glitter. There are the ingredients, the nutritional information, and the directions are very simple. Sort of dump it all in and cook it on the Instant Pot. More quilting. Now, I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Bagrier pancakes. I really like these a lot. They were made with semolina, and it's a very simple recipe. And I actually freeze them and sometimes use them as a snack. There's no sugar in them. They're very simply made, but they're delicious. And these are some placemats that I made. Sourdough pretzels. I should have put this wasn't an epic fail, but it was didn't turn out great because I didn't make them thin enough. It's a King Arthur recipe, and I got it from my cookbook. And I made them so thick that they kind of looked like, this is not a picture of what I made. This is from their cookbook or from online, wherever I got it. And mine looked like big globs of pretzels. They tasted delicious. It wasn't the recipe. They were very good, but I made them too thick. And I like the way I did the hearts here. I have them sort of sticking out. That was nice. And this, my son and daughter-in-law and their son have given us a fruit a month package. For 6 months we get fruit. It's great. That comes to our door. It's always a surprise and always very cool. And on the back of the honey bells there was a recipe for spinach salad. And I actually made it, and it was really, really good. So I put that in there. And the rest, I have so far labeled all of the dividers. I took 12 or 13 dividers out, and I'm going to cover this year. This is not going to show. Actually, I covered it last year too. But I'm also going to cover this side, and I'm going to remove the pages. I have decided I don't want the pages this year. So I'm just going to close it, and I'm going to do that. So I'm going to continue with this year. And I'll post it as I do it. Last year I posted it all at the end, but I think I'll post it every month or two. What I'd like to share now, before I stop, is 2 cookbooks that I've mentioned. In the last video, I talked about this book, which is Leanne Brown's, let me move it so everyone can see it, Eat Well on $4 a Day, Good and Cheap by Leanne Brown. I purchased this when she was in graduate school. She did a project, and she put it on GoFundMe, and it was to sell these so that she could earn money to give them away to people who really needed it, people who go to food pantries and things like that. So she, by everyone who purchased one, half of it went for the production of the book that I got, and then there was at least one donated, which I really like that. But in addition, and that's why I bought it, but in addition to that, the recipes are absolutely great. I use it regularly. As you can see, I have the bookmarks in here. Let's see, what is this? This is French onion soup, which I haven't made, but I'm going to. And let's see what's here. Tofu hot pot, which is one of my favorite tofu recipes. So really, really good book. I highly recommend it. It's not real expensive, and it's for a good cause. The other book I have here, I've talked about I have recipes already that I've used this year. It's Lorna J. Sass, Great Vegetarian Cooking Under Pressure. It is not an Instant Pot book, but I've used the same times for her pressure cooker as for my Instant Pot, and everything has turned out wonderfully. It's an older book. I got it from Amazon. Let me see if I can find the copyright date here. I use this a lot. It's a really good book, 1994, but great recipes. Quinoa vegetable soup. I'm just pulling the ones I have marked here. Basic vegetable stock I've used, and quinoa corn chili, basic quinoa. My apple butternuts, their apple butternut soup is delicious. It's a great book, really worth the investment. I got a used copy on Amazon, and it was really cheap, but it's really one of my favorite recipe books right now. So I'm going to put those, if I can figure out how to do it. I'm new to doing this. I'm going to try and post the names of both of these cookbooks. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope maybe it gave you some ideas for yourself. And thanks for listening.